Nice to see you.
So I was watching the debates this week, and as a young person, I'm really concerned about climate change.
Yes.
But there's another existential issue that wasn't really getting much debate, and that's the issue of nuclear weapons and the nuclear risk.
I agree.
So there's one policy
I mentioned
proposal.
it when they said what is the real risk. I said nuclear proliferation.
And I appreciate that. That's why I'm here today asking you, do you support a no first use policy for nuclear weapons?
Look, it's hard to define these things. Right? Do I think the United States of America should be the first to use a nuclear weapon? No. If aliens from outer space were attacking our country, should we use nuclear weapons to confront them? I know it's crazy hypothetical, but yes, maybe. Who knows, right? So it's hard to actually think about what kind of potential chemical or biological weapon someone could be unleashing, that this might be the only way to deal with it.
Okay.
I do support the notion of not using a nuclear weapon to start a war absolutely fully. I don't support efforts that have been made to make it impossible for the president to use a nuclear weapon.
So you want to reserve that right?
Yes,
for,
but I
you
obviously
think there
don't
might be a time
support using.
where
Well, you
we
just,
could use a nuclear
I mean, when
weapon?
you're the president of the country, you have this awesome responsibility we talked about. You can't ever tie your hands on anything in many ways because you don't even know the scenarios that you could be confronted with. But this notion of using a nuclear weapon to start any kind of a conflict, of course I'm vehemently opposed to that. But I don't support efforts that have been made to basically make it impossible for the president to do that.
Now,
Because I don't think that's in the best interest of the citizens of the
Go
United
back
States.
to where?
but there is a concern of having just one person, because you know that people have faults, and no president would be perfect. Would you be willing to relinquish some of that authority, because the president has sole authority to use a nuclear weapon? Would you
Kind of
consider,
yes. Kind of yes.
creating a fail-safe, like you need the vice president or secretary of state to sign off on it too, or something along those lines?
I mean, I think as a practical matter, that's the way it works. I have enough trust in our government that a rogue president trying to do it, that there are mechanisms in place. So I've generally been against specific provisions that tie the hand of the president, because I don't actually think that's in the best interest of the citizens of the United States in terms of ensuring that the commander-in-chief, in the eyes of the world, has the power that they're entrusted to in the Constitution. I mean, in the Constitution, the president is in the power of commander-in-chief. And I think efforts to limit that, which I'm not sure are necessary, I don't think is necessary. And I'm a big anti-nuclear proliferation person, obviously, and I've made a commitment as one of my jobs as president to really re-engage the world in reducing the stockpile of nuclear weapons. And I can't imagine when you would ever use a nuclear weapon as a first strike. But I also believe, and there's a certain kind of constitutional framework how we operate.